Hello everybody, it's Public Slave Zero. Welcome back, doing episode 12. We just got done doing our training. Well, we did 2 parts of our training and now we're heading off to go kick the shit out of Jhin, who's causing trouble in the Grove. Oh, I guess not yet. I'm checking the... That's a Pizak player. Figured I'd toss that in real quick. I could buy cards and play Pizak with them. I don't really care to play Pizak, and that's Alan Matali. He's the one. You have the Matalis and the Sandros, and that's the whole Romeo and Juliet story. Which I have not done yet. This is let's see, what the second part of my Dantooine. I played maybe about 2 hours the other day, close to, and Dantooine's almost done. Not that that's important, but I told you Talos was a real pain in the ass to deal with.
The council has decreed you may come and go as you please.
Let me go. That's irritating. So yeah, like Dantooine's going fairly smooth. I don't see anything really holding me up now besides maybe Kashyyyk. Sometimes I can get lost in Kashyyyk. Not that I don't know where I'm going, just sometimes it throws me off. And then another one that can mess me up sometimes is Korriban.
Do not be so quick to judge.
Sometimes that's mostly because of the
not everything may be as transparent as you would.
Like, there's a lot of decisions to be made on when you get to Korriban. Like, are you going to be evil? You have to decide that before you get to Korriban, otherwise you will get held up on Korriban.
About me, I am truly flattered.
And
what is it you wish to know?
I think we pretty much decided I'm playing a good guy, right? That's like my default. I didn't really want to say this is good or a bad playthrough, but there's no way not to.
Is there something else I can help you with? I hope your time is well spent here on Dantooine.
Playing neutral is possible, but it's probably more difficult. You know the choices you should pick if you're a good guy. You know the choices you should pick if you're a bad guy. So, whether you pick to play neutral or not, like, you can't just be neutral by chance, because you know the options for good and bad. The only way I could really see neutral being easy is if I was to for each scenario, well, actually thinking it out and role playing, maybe, I don't know how well that would work for me, but maybe. But if you decide you're gonna, like, for one scenario you're good, the next scenario you're bad, the next scenario you're good, the next scenario you're bad. That's the only way I really see it being like, to be able to set forth to say this is a neutral playthrough, but at the end you are going to have to choose good or bad. we're nowhere near that point, so there's no sense in getting into it too much.
I only hope they'll listen to me. Is there anything else you require?
So yeah,
Farewell then.
we're heading off into the plains of Dantooine to stop the Blight on the Grove, and this guy's telling us that there's Mandalorians. Your problems are Cath Hounds and Mandalorians. There's nothing else that I could think of that's going to stop you from like really moving through this, as long as you're ready. Like, this was a little harder, and it's probably because of those moments where I did avoid a fight. Like with Final Fantasy, this is the problem of well, Final Fantasy or Pokemon. When you get tired of the random encounters and it picking you, and you deciding to flee, run, or like on here I avoid. Blue Dragon is not a very popular game, but I appreciate it for the anime. It's easy to avoid monsters on there, and it's not something I like to do, but like I just said, it is something easy to do, but it's not going to help you in the long run. You know, you need your levels, you need your skills, you need to move up, and if you're not going to be able to move up, or you know, if you're not going to take those random encounters, you're not really going to be able to level up the way you should. This lady's disgusting. She has this weird relationship with her droid. I know it doesn't say her droid yet. His programming, yeah. I haven't found her yet, but I know where she is. There's a cave on Dantooine where you can get some lightsaber crystals. I don't know why the grass is still cutting the player's legs and stuff off, and like most of this playthrough, you're not gonna see T3. He's with me the whole time, but you can't see him.
I need him back. His absence gnaws at me like a gaping wound.
Wow.
Gaping wound. Vagina. Kidding. Totally kidding.
Thank you, Master Jedi. If you find him, please send him home to me. I need him so much.
I'm taking a look at Wikipedia. Sort of looking at some of the other stuff that it's telling me a lot about characters. I'm not ready to reveal because we're just not there yet. Once we get to Jolie Bindo, like, you're gonna fall in love with Jolie Bindo. To me, Jolie Bindo is the Old Republic's Mace Windu, except not as cool as Samuel L. Jackson. I mean, you can't deny Samuel L. Jackson's coolness, especially as a Jedi. Like, he could have been anybody else in the Star Wars movies, but he was a Jedi. Alright, I got to Dantooine, but I'm hoping they don't give away. Okay, so here's something I haven't read. Hold on a second. Oh, never mind. Never mind. I was reading something wrong. There's a book called Revan, and it's supposed to be Revan's story, and that apparently reveals a lot of history, but I haven't read it. I read a sample on Google Books. There's Cathhounds. The bull Cathhounds, of course, you could tell by the name, are the worst ones. Okay, so this website's saying Tatooine, Kashyyyk, Manan, and not that one. And then Korriban. I'm not sure I really like the order. You can get way more, well, not way more, but you can get some like really powerful stuff from Korriban, especially if you're dark side, but we're not dark side. So like going there early is kind of a good thing, but I'm trying to figure out how good. Like before Manan good or before Kashyyyk? I would say before Kashyyyk, but you come across the Terran Tatak. We'll just say miniature Rancor that feeds on the Force. That's the story. It doesn't really do anything that I noticed. But the Terran Tatak, you run into one on Kashyyyk. However, on Korriban you come across 2 or 3, and 2 of them at the same time. And that's really hard. I mean, imagine Luke fighting 2 Rancors. It would have been a way better action scene. I can tell that. But I don't know if it would be smart for me to go there first. Possibly. Very possible. Well, not first. Obviously, I'm not going to the Dark World first. But I could go to Manan, Tatooine, Korriban, Kashyyyk. Haven't done it that way, and I would probably end up backtracking if I was able to. If I was able to, I'd be able to backtrack. Or if I can backtrack after a point like that, like in that order, I don't know if it will let me, but I would have to do it in order to finish a lot. I know Jolie Bindo's, we'll call it loyalty mission. His loyalty mission is on Manan. I don't know about missions. I think hers is rather random, because I know I've done it on Kashyyyk and Tatooine, but thinking about it, I kind of vaguely remember doing it on Manan. Not all of it, obviously, but part of it. Like, you meet your mission's brother's ex-girlfriend on a maybe random planet, and I think you have to go to Tatooine to free him from the Sand People, but maybe. Something like that. See how the grass is cutting out? I want to say it might be the mod I'm using, because the mod I'm using is strictly texture and visual. Like, it's not messing with the gameplay. It's not. There's no added stuff. If you're like me and you've played this game on original Xbox, or I imagine now if you've played it on your phone, it's the same thing except I'm using higher, a texture pack essentially, and it's not even that much. Like, it's just small things. I have the name. I'll have to find it. I'll be sure to put that in the next video. But I do know the last update this mod had was Dantooine. Like, it was mostly all Dantooine stuff. I'm looking at some Easter eggs. They say there's a Star Trek Deep Space Nine Easter egg. It says the melody that T3M4 pipes when you address him aboard the Ebon Hawk is the one sung by the little girl Chandra while playing a kind of hopscotch in the game Chula, in which Sisko and his comrades were trapped as figurines while Quark was forced to play in Season 1, Episode 9 of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Not a Deep Space Nine fan, but you know, that's interesting. Let me see if they have. No, they don't actually have it listed. There's another Easter egg. If you're into anime, if you hit well, then again, this is PC. All right, on the Xbox version, when you hit Y for random names, you keep hitting and hitting and hitting, and you'll see like they changed the first and last name, but essentially they're like just the same couple of names, and they just, you know, pair them up differently. But eventually they start using this anime show's names. I can't remember the name of the anime that it's actually from. I want to say it's like Bleach or Inuyasha, maybe. I don't know. I'm not a giant anime fan. I like a certain few. And my nerddom doesn't come out very far when it comes to anime. Japanese, Chinese, kung fu movies, sci-fi sort of thing, love them. Anime, I'm a little picky. I like Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT, but that's mostly just, you know, it takes me back to the day. It's still fun to watch, but it's not like one of those. You're not a serious anime fan if you watch it. At least that's how people treat me when they do watch anime. I'm like, yeah, Dragon Ball. Let's see. Another one says Nemo. While probably not an Easter egg per se, the appearance and subsequent loss of a Jedi named Nemo triggered a quest that just had to be an intentional insider gag. You had to find Nemo. I actually believe after we defeat Juhani, after we defeat Juhani, that's the mission they gave me. He ends up being in the ruins. This song reference. Limp Bizkit. When talking to Joel Lee, one of his later stories about his past deals with the time he spent on Kashyyyk, he states at one point that he did it all for the Wookiees. The character responds by saying, "The Wookiees?" And he replies, "The Wookiees." Not very impressed. They got the voice changed for Xbox. That was okay. It was kinda fun, you know, mess around with it a little bit. I actually got stuck on this part. Real quick one. That in this part was way harder than I thought it should have been. And there's a hidden ending. I looked it up on YouTube because I never did it. Or maybe I did do it. Plug 2 controllers in. I probably did. Yeah. It says you need a third hand or a friend, but I didn't have too much of a problem doing it. But that was a long, long time ago. It's not even impressive.
Yes?
Alternate or hidden ending. Like, it's, you know, once you see it, that was good. I'm gonna look here at the cheats. What happened in between the last section and the part that just started is literally health. That was it. You see how that said 9 hours and 44 minutes? I swear it does not feel like I put that much time into it. I don't even, most of it I didn't even record because there was that whole section on Terrace where I was just trying to find health. Okay, so they have cheats. I'm not using cheats. Maybe on like a separate save, I might use it. You know, just for fun, but I have no intention of using it. So here's Jhin. If you're a Doctor Who fan, she's like the cat people of Earth. That's probably a horrible Doctor Who reference. I'm sure certain people got it. Well, most of you probably got it. The cheat codes, it says PC only, on Terrace in the lower city. Use codes to keep your Sith armor. If you don't want to feel like a cheater, then simply undo the codes after you've got your armor and play as usual. Not really cheat codes to me. It's kind of like the hidden room on Morrowind. I have a feeling that hidden room is on Morrowind.
I knew I could never go back.
Is on Morrowind.
Now I revel in my dark power.
But it requires you to type in the command. And I just don't know how to mess with all that. It's probably a mod chip. I never got a mod chip for my Xbox.
Yes.
Before anybody starts calling me a cheater, I didn't want a mod chip just to be a dickhead. I wanted a mod chip because I was a Halo 2 player. And those guys were cheating assholes. I seen a warthog flying across the map. It was spinning in circles as it went, like sideways, not front and back. And there was a guy on the turret, the Gauss turret, no less. And he's just
even with your naive attitude,
hitting all sorts of people. I seen a guy with a shotgun. It was an automatic shotgun that fired rockets. So imagine looking at a guy with a shotgun, you know, Halo 2, and then he goes. That's what it sounded like as, you know, 6 or 7 rockets came flying at you, and he didn't even have to stop. He didn't have to reload, nothing. Just hold the trigger down, walk across the map, blow the shit out of everything. So I needed a mod chip to combat that. At least that's how I felt. So here's Jhin. It took me a couple tries. There's a certain pattern to getting her to come to the dark side again. And with me not being a Jedi Guardian, I need a Jedi Guardian. So I just, you know, you gotta keep going back in, gotta keep trying. We eventually get her.
Thinking of using technicalities to do the deed and ease your conscience.
Wouldn't let you down like that. Let's see, there's an article here called Choosing Force Powers. Alright, let me see what it says. Force armor equals unwise. Reasons not to take force armor. I don't know. Let's see it. This is by a guy called Kredian on GameBanshee.com. The reasons not to take force armor. It says it seems it's highly suggested to take the full force armor tree for basically all Jedi, since you are restricted to so little armor in order to make use of your force abilities. However, I disagree. This power really doesn't need to be such a high priority. You're way better off completing the force speed tree. Speed tree, huh? This is because at the highest levels you only get 2 additional points of armor this way. By the time you get it, it's not going to make that big of a difference anyway. With master speed, not only do you move faster, useful for moving past explored areas, but 2 additional and way more useful attacks per round. The only advantage that I might see with force armor is the ability to cast it cheap for super light side players. However, the problem with that is force armor only lasts 20 seconds for those fights in which you really need it. That's just not going to cut it. The force armor is cheaper, you're going to be casting almost twice as often, which somewhat negates that advantage. Moreover, you will have spent a round to activate the power, which creates a serious disadvantage in combat when you need it most. Sure, you do get a serious defense when you use both the armor and speed powers, but you're probably better off taking force powers instead, other force powers instead. In my opinion, the only Jedi character that should even consider taking the full force armor tree is a super light side consular that can afford to spend the force points. Even then, I'd say only get these force powers if there's nothing better. That being said, I think it should go without saying that no matter what, you definitely will want to take the full force speed tree as soon as possible. It makes sense, but if you're able to get force armor, you should probably do that too. At least if you get it as a young Jedi.
Ready.
Obviously I'm not a young Jedi, but you know, lower Jedi. And then we have
What?
Powers versus Alignment by Slarthix Nox, Hero of the Republic. Along the lines of choosing force powers along your alignment, remember this does not affect the alignment of your other NPCs, only your own. While a lot of my friends thought it was crazy for going the complete goody-goody group, they said it was no fun. You know, we're looking at stories here. We're looking for fun here on the dark side. Brainwash them. The Force Lightning is brutal. Listen to this real quick. So, I found by the time I was near the end, the light was shooting up around my character in the profile. I could be thoroughly depleted. It only took me a few quick seconds. So therefore, if you're going to be good, be really good, and if you're going to be bad, be wicked. Concentrate your own. Okay, so that one's easy. Just if you're a bad guy, choose bad powers. If you're a good guy, choose good powers. I've never actually focused on that a whole lot. I just pick what I think works best. I can look at more of these later on. So this is Public Slave Zero. Thank you for watching. This is episode 12. Be sure to find me on Facebook, Twitter, Google+. I've been on Twitch pretty regularly. Playing some odd stuff. I'll see y'all later.
Ready.
Sure.